Hello everyone, my name is Kristen Deeks. I am a second year student in the education program at Mount Royal University. For my very first digital story, I have decided to focus on developing literacy and reading using technology. Test 1, 2, 3. To begin with, I would like to give you a quick overview as to where my digital story will be going. First, we will begin with an introduction and leading questions. I want to explain my thought process as to how I came to my burning question. Secondly, we will go over the background of my research. This focuses on what research has previously been done on this topic, as well as the context of the research. Thirdly, my research methods. Who did I gather my information from? Where did I gather my information from? And how did I gather my information? Fourth, my findings and what the results of my research were. And fifth, my recommendations. In other words, what do my results lead me to conclude, and how can I bring my burning question to be taken into action? And lastly, a wrap-up. When I first entered my current and emerging technologies class, I was quite taken aback at the idea of technology becoming such a prominent part of education. As well, when I first entered my language development and literacy class, I was also quite taken aback at how important reading and literacy were. This got my wheels turning and the questions came rushing in. First, I asked myself, what reading and literacy technology is out there? The most I knew was ebooks and technology like Phonics and Reader Rabbit. Following, I asked, why should educators use technology over traditional means? When I asked this question, I was quite frustrated with the technology and education. I found myself asking, what's wrong with a good old paper and pencil? Why do we need the technology? And lastly, is literacy and reading technology effective? These leading questions led me to my burning question, which is, how to create powerful reading experiences using technology. As a future educator who is entering at a time where elementary education is greatly changing in the fields of technology, I want to know. First, I focused on the background and what research and knowledge was already out there. For my literature review, I found that all research I compiled was published from 2005 and onward. This allows me to conclude that reading and literacy technology within the classroom is somewhat of a new phenomenon. Therefore, I wonder, are present teachers equipped and educated to create powerful literacy and reading learning experiences through the use of technology? These are two sources I compiled in my literature research. Teaching the New Writing, Technology Change and Assessment in the 21st Century by Anne Harrington, Kevin Hodgson, and Charles Moran. This book stood out to me because it shares first-hand stories of teachers who have conducted successful writing projects using advanced technology. These projects include wikis, blogs, and electronic poetry. The book also explores how to assess electronic literacy projects. It was published in 2009, so very recent. The book opened my eyes. It shows how technology can take education to new heights if used properly. The other source I used was called Beyond Literacy, a balanced approach to developing the whole child by Janet Taylor, Nancy Branscombe, Jan Burkham, and Lily Land. This book was published in 2011 and explores the many ways in which to use technology to develop literacy skills and writing skills. Specifically, refers to activities like creating narrative voices through the computer and sharing journals and communicative arts. I believe that all the literature research I chose for my bibliography are excellent sources that explain the amazing learning opportunities technology can provide us with. But the issue is, educators may not be fully aware of it yet. Following my literature research, I needed to reach out to the people and discover their opinions and prior knowledge and thoughts on the idea of reading and literacy technology. The forms of research I used were interview, survey, and questionnaire. For interviews, I conducted a reading attitude interview with grade 4 students from Calgary. I asked a series of questions surrounding their attitude towards reading and if they use any technology when they read. These interviews lasted about 15 minutes. Additionally, I used online surveys and questionnaires using Google. I sent out a questionnaire to my women's soccer team at Mount Royal University. The average age is 20 years old. I wanted to target this age group because when they were going through elementary, there was not as much technology as there is today. I also put a questionnaire on Facebook for all age groups and for people from different educational backgrounds. After compiling my data, these are a few of the keywords that were brought up in my questionnaire, interview, and survey. All keywords are mostly positive in regards to literacy and reading. The survey I posted on Facebook was centered around whether the surveyed found literacy and reading technology as a hindrance or a benefit to education. 78% said that they found technology beneficial to literacy and reading education. This survey was conducted on a yes-no basis. My questionnaire that was sent out to my teammates was centered around what technology have you used and what were your thoughts on the technology used in the classroom. 57% expressed that they have used technology in the classroom. Many of them have expressed that when they were in elementary school, they did not even have access to reading and literacy technology. Some expressed that the technology used was not sufficient or was not used in balance with other means of learning. Here are some of the key quotes that came from my research. I categorized them, the yellow quotes, as positive in regards to literacy and reading technology within the classroom, and the pink as negative in regards to reading and literacy technology. Beneficial. In my experiences, there were always a portion of students who got excited to use the computers and were motivated to learn and complete coursework than if they were given a pencil and a paper. I enjoy this quote because much of my literature research spoke to using technology as a new tool that allowed students to get excited about creating and being independent from the teacher. As well, in my grade students interviews, one child expressed that technology in the classroom excited him because they don't get to use it all the time. Hindrance. There are too many distractions on computers for students to use it. This was one of my initial concerns when I was beginning my research. Will the learning be profound and substantial, or will it be used as a pastime for teachers to catch a break? It seems some people share this concern. Probably beneficial as long as it's used in conjunction with other learning techniques and hands-on practices. This is important because yes, technology is becoming a large piece of elementary education, but it should be used as a supplementary piece of education and not all-consuming. I think it is a hindrance. It took a lot of time to get everyone set up on the program, and this left little time to actually get the benefit from the technology. Once again, this is one of my initial concerns about literacy and reading technology within the classroom. As previously stated, technology is a new phenomenon within elementary classrooms, and more emphasis has been put on it in the past few years. But how do we educate current students to use these technologies efficiently? In regards to recommendations for creating profound learning experiences for reading and literacy using technology, my conclusions are as follows. Teachers need to learn how to create a balance between traditional and modern technology. Technology should be used as a supplementary tool to allow for maximum learning and discovery. If it is not used appropriately, the scales will be tipped and learning will not be as profound. Next is education and expanding worldview. Teachers must be willing to learn and adapt their teaching styles and worldviews to allow them to become the best educators they can be. As I have discovered, the learning material is accessible and informative. Following learning, teachers must learn how to plan to implement technology. They must ask, where do we get the technology from? What is the objective? And why are we using this technology? In Calgary, we have learned that the most amazing technology is accessible through the CBE to rent out. From 3D printers to digital globes, we just need to plan to use them in an effective way, and this is possible. Thank you for your time and coming along with me on my journey to discovering the possibilities and abilities of reading and literacy technology.